Alrighty, y'all. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you guys are watching this. A little bit of a later start today, unfortunately, but it is what it is. I should probably get the application up and running. I forgot to do that, so let me go ahead and CD into front end real quick. And let's take a look at what we did yesterday for 10 p.m. start. Take a look at what we did on Tuesday. Primarily worked on getting images set up, I believe, and also kind of finished up some of the other drop-down menus. So we'll see here, let it load up, and then we'll get going from there. Alright, it should be good now. Go ahead and sign in with unknown coder 1234. Coder can't type 1234. Oh, our backend's not running. Whoops. Start our backend up. Like I said, I literally just got done with my other morning tasks, so I didn't have too much time this morning to get prepared. I've been starting to at least pull up the code and everything before I go to bed. That way that's ready. Alright, so this is where we left off yesterday. Or not yesterday, Tuesday. You can click on this guy. You can grab images. And yeah, so the other thing was, let me pull this over. If we go to my images, so you can only have one GIF. If you have a GIF and an image, it's going to complain. So if we open up the console, let me try to open up the console, and this is broken. It's because of this guy. Well, we're going to have to figure out how to basically make this a custom button, more or less, and we can look into that. But you're only allowed to have one GIF. So if we do this, it'll say only one GIF allowed. And then if we have more than 4 images, it'll also say can't have more than 4 images. So let me just grab 4 images. It'll say, hey, oh wait, let me grab 5. I'll grab 4. If I grab 5 images, it'll say, hey, too many files. Can't have more than that. So what I think I want to do is try to figure out how we're going to handle displaying those 4 images and how we can kind of hide this. I think what we'll do is I'm going to do a Google. And I'm going to say custom HTML file input button, because what we really want is we want this button just to be this icon basically, and we don't want it to have all of this. It's obviously breaking everything. So let's see if there's a way to do this. So it looks like there is. Use a label tag. Point its for label attribute to the ID of the default HTML upload button. Then I'm guessing you probably style it with yep. Although this is a label element. No, never mind. Okay, that makes sense. So all we have to do is we can keep that, and what we'll do is make, where is this at? Let's scroll down to our media. So it sounds like we can just wrap our media in a label. Oops, a label. And let's wrap our media in this. And what we're gonna do is throw that in there. And then we need a name, which is images. So we should be able to say like for equal to, and then say images. Okay, it doesn't like that, so we'll do this, I guess. Still, oh, I put it on the wrong thing. No wonder why it doesn't like it. Need to put this on the label. So for images. Huh, it still doesn't like it. Not assignable to type HTML props, blah blah blah. 4 does not exist on type label element. Sure it does. Unless I spelled label wrong, which is completely possible. Note label for actual button. So why does this not work? Interesting. Did I mess this up? No? Okay, that's fine. Yeah, it doesn't like 4. Oh, you have to use HTML for. Okay. Try that. So it looks like it's one of those weird JSX problems. Okay. Now does this actually do what we want though? Click on it. Nothing happens. You love to see it. What did I did. Okay. Name images. Let me double check. Pretty sure. Oh, they gave it. Okay, you have to give it an ID. Okay. I don't think I need this as a name. I think I can have it as an ID. I don't think I'm actually using the name for anything. Okay, cool. That works. And then we can go ahead and hide this guy. And is it gonna be that easy? Okay, well this is scuffed now. But now we just have to, let's see. So y is PG Media. Maybe I need to give this class name to it real quick. Let's give the label this class name because it's kind of the background. I think it's all lined up now. When we click on it, opens up the images. Okay, that was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. I'm not going to lie, I thought it would be a little bit more difficult to figure it out than that. So, cool. Now, that's the easy part though. Let me go ahead and modify this. We did this input, we did a label. Copy this and throw it into our code. Okay, grab the entire media. So I might also grab the entire media. So that's the easy part. Now displaying it is going to be a whole nother beast. So basically, display the images. So I'm trying to think of how we might be able to do this, because we're basically going to need custom setups depending on, or custom classes maybe, depending on how many images are posted or how many images are in there. I'm going to log on to Twitter really quick, or X, whatever you want to call it. I could type, that'd be cool. So, I get all these stupid for you out of here that. So, if we grab some images. So if we grab some images real quick, and I'm just gonna grab a few random ones. So I'll grab, let's see here. Grab Xbox controller, sure. Grab this one. Grab this one and this one. So if we grab 4 images, it pops up like this. But if you have 3 images, one's big on the side, 2 images, 1 image, right? So basically we need to figure out how we're going to handle all of these different states and figure that out. And it looks like, I'm not sure if this one's rounded or not. So we'll see what happens here. I think what we need to do is, I guess, set up a new component to put the images on and go from there. And if I look at this again, it gets put underneath the text. So it looks like in our feed post creator, what we had to do is here inside like the actual area. So feed post creator, right? So I guess technically it'd be on the right, but I don't know. We'll have to mess with it. The text area seems just going to be like in its own area. But basically it's going to be like under the text area. So let's see. Let's go ahead and make a new folder. We'll call this, new folder, feed post creator images, I guess. And make a new file, feed post creator images.tsx, and a new file, feed post creator images.css. Okay, so let's import React from React. Need to import, we'll need to use selector probably. Import use selector. All right. We'll probably need dispatch as well. Use dispatch. Okay. And then what else do we need? We'll need app state. Import. I guess it's actually root state and app dispatch. We're also going to need to import our, what's that called? That's post images or something like that. Update current post images. From .. go down to Redux and get it from our slices /post slice. Okay, I think that's everything. Export const feed post creator images. I don't think it's going to take in any state, so this will be React function components, and we'll return our div class name equal to feed post creator image. All right, so we need to get the current post images, right? So basically we'll say const post state equal to use selector state root state, and we'll return state.post. Okay, and then we might as well set up our dispatch, I guess. Const dispatch app dispatch is equal to use dispatch, because we're going to be able, although actually I think we're going to make another image here, so we might not actually need the dispatch. I think I'm going to make individual image components, so might not be that we need the dispatch for this. Okay, so from here, basically we need to, we can hide it and show it inside the parent component, the feed post creator, so that's not an issue. And this might need to be, a lot of this stuff might end up being refactored, to be completely honest. So we'll see what happens as I get going here. But looking at Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, have like your images, So I'm going to do this because I want to make a component for images. And then you have like another component that has maybe a div, class name, equal to, I don't know, we're going to call this feed dash post dash creator images dash, and this is maybe options or something. And here you have like a p, the class name. How do I want to do this? Because well, I could probably make that work. Class name equal to feed post creator dash images dash options dash text, or option. I'm going to say option, and this would be like tag. Cool. Then we have another one, and these probably need on clicks and stuff, and they pop up modals and all of that stuff. So not going to go through all of this hassle today, but this one would say add description, and I don't think I have either of these, so we'd have to go through and basically add those. So I guess what we need to do is first, instead of display the images, we need to create the tag full SVG. Everyone's favorite thing, creating SVGs. On our SVGs, I don't think we have a tag, people, so I'll make a new one. File tag people svg.tsx, right? And we'll just export, and I think I've been export default function for these, tag people svg, just to make it easy on ourselves, and then we'll return. Although we do need the props are an SVG props, right? And we'll return our SVG from here. So let me yoink the SVG again. If y'all haven't seen how I yoink these SVGs, I just go ahead and inspect and do one of these, go over the SVG we want. There it is. So you can just go ahead and yoink this SVG. So, and then we'll get rid of the class. We don't need that. We'll just clean this up a little bit to make it look prettier. And that should be good. So there's the SVG, and I just do this because I don't want to reinvent the wheel. There's probably a good chance that these are maybe a Material UI, but I just don't have the time to search through all of these. If you guys want to search through the Material UI, go for it. So we need our height is equal to props.height. Need our width equal to our props.width. And then on our path, how's it going, Viking? Hope you're having a good morning. On our path, we'll have a fill, and fill equal to props.color. If there's a props.color, we're going to set it to the color. Otherwise, we're just going to set it to 000. Put the hashtag there, the pound sign, and this will be props.color. So either we'll set it to black or props.color. So this one is good to go. Then go ahead, 32, set up the, and this is description SVG. Let me make sure I don't have a description SVG. Doesn't look like it. I don't think I have one that looks like this. Actually, I do. It's just called lists, so I can use the list SVG. So 32, set up the components for the post feed creator images. And then if I start reusing some of these a lot, I'll put them into the global component folder. Not that big of a deal. So now in feed post creator, or actually feed post creator images, and tag people. Clean this up a little bit. I'll actually make it more of a mess. But inside here, we'll have our tag people SVG. And the size of this guy is pretty small. Let's see. Total size of the SVG is 16 by 16 basically. It says 16.5 by 16.5 margin on it. So, or 16.2 by 16.2. I might just make it 16 by 16 just to make it a nice round number. Height 16. I think it's just 16. I don't think it's a string. 16. And color. We're going to grab this hex. It's a really thin line, isn't it? Can I even grab this color? Yes, I can. I'm gonna go ahead and say RGB to hex just to make my life easier for this one. We'll just paste. Doesn't seem like the right color. Maybe it is, I guess. Seems like very blue, but maybe it's okay. So there's our tag people. And it looked like this had some margin on it. So I'm about to add some like padding. So if well, we're not gonna be able to see anything because I haven't added it yet, so I'll deal with that in a second. And then this one, add description. So this one was using a list. So do the same thing. So we'll say, not that. Say list SVG width equal to 16, height equal to 16, and color is going to be the same. And there's a very good chance that I already had an SVG for the tag people, but I didn't realize it, so it is what it is. Alright, so now we need to deal with all of the images, basically. And I should look, what does Twitter actually do for their CSS? Like, what's going on with this parent component here? Can't even grab the parent component. Here's the component holding all of the text. So here's the component holding the images, it looks like. So what is the magic here? Let's have some margin, some stuff. I'm guessing this is image stuff, and they're just using flex. Really. Flex shrink 0, flex direction column. Well, that doesn't make any sense. I wonder what flex basis does. Let's see. I don't see anything changing. This is the actual div holding the images itself. Like nothing on this one. Go inside another one. There's a flexbox row, but it's being overridden by something else. Yeah, display flex is being overridden by... not sure what. Go deeper, what happens? Give another one. Another one. Let's see if I can get only the images here. Okay, these are individual images, so this is the actual... So it seems like you can do it with some sort of flex. So the align item stretch is what's doing this right now. I add another image real quick. How does this change? Lost it. Because I'm trying to wrap my head around like the dynamic nature of this whole thing. Still flex. Still stretch items. And let's see. Interesting. And it could just be because they're restricting the size and this is just how it goes. So let's play around with flex and just see what happens. Maybe we don't even need a, well, we do need a custom thing because, what's it called? We'll need a div. Let's see if we can just get the images on the page and then we'll make the custom image thing later. So feed post creator. And we'll say props.color colon, and of course we'll just default to black. So I actually need to be 33 now. 32, update the lists SVG component to take in the color. There we go. All right. So now obviously this looks like doo-doo. Oops. But it's got stuff in there. I always need to kind of like restrict the size and all of that good stuff. If I could click on the right thing, that'd be awesome. So let's see what we can do with this. The images are being displayed, or they are being put in there properly, and everything's working. Well, relatively working. So basically, we need to figure out how to size the components inside here. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab this. So the width of this will be 100%, and we had overflow. They had overflow hidden on Twitter, and hopefully that's not going to be an issue. And inside of feed post creator, the height on Twitter, the height only goes up to tallest. Ooh, interesting. I don't know if I'm going to do all of that logic, but anyway, the height. Let's get rid of a couple images and see what the max height was. So this is the max height it can be. Here's just the image. Let's get the entire thing. So it's like 500 pixels tall, right? If I scroll down, so I don't know which one. I'm pretty sure, or is it 300? I never know if height or width goes first. Let's see how wide our area is. Probably gonna log me out. Okay, it's fine. So our area is 520 wide, so it's 300 something tall, right? So let's come back in here. So 300. So the image itself is 343, which is a strange height. It's about 340-ish tall. 343, which I'm guessing it has to do with some rims and stuff like that. So I'm gonna make mine like 345 tall. So, and I'll fix up this stuff later. So height, the maximum height you can be, or it's always going to be 345 pixels. Just because Twitter's does not go above 345. So now, if we come into here, we have no images, obviously. Let's also do the flex box real quick, just to get that out of the way. I'm not worried about the other text right now, but the flex box I think is what's going to be important here. So we need a display flex, and they have a align items of stretch. Let's see what this does for us. We add a couple images. Let's say we add these two. That did nothing. Perfect. I don't think their images on Twitter have any CSS on them. I mean, maybe they do. Let's take a look at the image. As pointer, but all of these are overridden. There's overflow clip and overflow clip margin content box. Just have height and width 100%, but I think this changes. I think the height and width obviously changes if you add more images. So if I add another image, they add this image. So now obviously, does this height and width 100%? Interesting. An absolute position. I don't think the z-index is going to matter. I think the absolute position matters. I'm guessing that this overflow clip margin and content box probably matter. I don't want to, the thing is, I don't want to style the image crazy right now because I'm going to move stuff around basically. So width 100%, height 100%. So I'm more or less trying to prototype right now. I don't want to do too much work. But you know what? Never actually even imported the feed post creator CSS. Images.css. That might help a little bit too, I don't know. Okay, so I think it fits in there. I'm going to shamelessly yoink this, whatever this does, overflow clip margin, overflow clip. And I'm pretty sure I have 2 images in there, and I think the other one's being hidden right now. I think, but I'm not sure. I can't tell. Only time will tell in a second whenever I get this. And I'm guessing this probably has to be like overflow clip margin. And I'm fairly certain I have 2 images in there right now. So if I do 1, 2. Yeah, the other images are being hidden right now. So, whatever display flex, right? Height will be 100%. Width is 100%. And that's not going to change anything, I don't think. Okay, it did change something. Alright, so the images are, we still need like some way to make the images work, because basically this height and width 100% I don't think is going to work. There's some other magic going on behind the scenes. I'm overflowing, obviously. Yeah, so it's overflowing right now. Also, we're missing the tag people, so that's cool. But how are we going to handle this? What we want is this to be 50% of the screen, this to be 50%. And kind of deal with scaling and everything. And I knew this, I guess it just overflows. It centers it and then overflows is what it does. The image isn't really doing anything. It's going to be, I'm guessing, this div doing the actual work. Yeah. Height, width. This doesn't really do anything either. Let's have flex and stuff, but really need to take a look at like this whole container holding everything. This is something I haven't necessarily done. So container still has height and width of 100%, so it's definitely display flex. But I think that they have some other magic going on, like based on how many, like how many items there are in there, basically. So like, I feel like what they're doing is like, if there is more than, like, for example, feels like they're doing some sort of logic where it's like, if there's more than X amount of images, then set it to this width or something like that. So like, for example, in this map, it seems like it's like, if like current post images dot length is like, say, greater than 1, then they like return it with a style equal to width equal to like 50% or something. It wouldn't actually be 50%, because it'd be a little bit smaller. It seems like they're doing something like this, where it's like, okay, make the width 50%. I didn't actually do anything, so that's terrific. Whoops. So let's try this. Yeah, didn't add. And that should definitely be in that. Console.log. More than 2 images. I don't know why they didn't make the width 50%. Press again. Okay, so it's not getting that. Interesting. Alright, post images.length. Yeah, it's mapping through 2 of them. Makes sense. Definitely greater than 1. It should, because there's 2 images popping up. So let me think here. The only thing I can think of is it needs reloaded, but like that doesn't make any sense there. If it already mapped through all the images, it should be returning style 50% on there. Wait, this is old, unless this is user agent still. That still might be user agent styling. This is the mess right now, and we'll clean this up. But yeah, so style is definitely not getting put on these. 100% not doing what I hope. So look at some Flexbox stuff. CSS Flexbox. Let's see if we can make things actually fit the way that we want. So we already have our display flex set up on our image container. And let's see. Our flex directions 5. What is order? Default flex items are laid out in the source order. However, the order property controls the order in which they are. Okay, so it doesn't matter. I don't care about that. Flex direction. Fine. Flex grow. The ability for a flex item to grow if necessary if it accepts a unit value. Blah blah blah. If all items have flex grow set to 1, the remaining space will be distributed equally to all children. For this one, basically, we just want it 1. I mean, we are going to want wrap on this. I don't think, like, if we put flex wrap on right now, that's not going to do what we want. But we definitely do want flex wrap. And we want to wrap. That's just going to make a bigger mess right now, I think. If I could actually open up the right thing. Yeah, it just makes an even bigger mess. That's great. Let's see, what else can we learn? Figure out, flex flow, direction and wrap, that's fine. Basis. That's the default size of an element. Okay, I think this will be what we need. Might need flex basis. Let's see, this content defines the default size of an element before the remaining space is distributed. It can be a length, 20%, or a keyword. The auto keyword means look at my width height property. Content means blah blah blah. So this goes on the item itself. So we said style flex basis is auto. That do anything? Absolutely not. Why would it, you know? See, let's grab these again. So these images, do they even have a style on them? Where is the style going? What I'm curious about. Because these elements don't even have a style on. Oh, it's because this if statement's not working. I'm gonna say. I was like, where's the style going? But I forgot. Not working. Maybe it'll be easier than I thought. And I don't want to get my hopes up. Nope, nothing. Okay, cool. What other options do we have on flex basis? Content, fit content. What if we say fit content? Nothing happens. Love to see it. That doesn't do anything. That's cool. So maybe instead of messing with images, we should try to get different divs to work. And if we can get different divs to work, then maybe we can get the images to work. Maybe we should take a step back and figure out how to deal with divs instead of these images. But let's see. Are there any other details about Flex here that might help? Flex basis seemed like it should have been. What does 3 even mean here? Flex shrink. Flex shrink as well. Image. So we'll say flex shrink. I don't know what these are either. Auto. Does that do anything? Nope. Okay, so let's do this. We are going to make a new folder. We're going to call this feed post creator image. New file. Feed post creator image.tsx. New file. Feed post creator image.css. And I'm literally just going to create a div here. Import React from React. I'm going to create a div with a random color on it, basically, I think. I want to do this properly. Export feed post creator image react.function components. This const, and we'll return div class name equal to feed post creator that's properly feed post creator image, and all I'm going to do is say dot feed post creator image. And there's probably a super simple way to do this that I'm unaware of. But we're gonna figure this out. Creator image. And maybe what we do is, I mean, maybe this could be a styled component that we might make this, it might actually make sense to make this a styled component, to be honest, but we'll see. So feed post creator image .css, have a background color of cadet blue and a border radius of like 12 pixels or something. And the width and height is the thing that's really throwing me off. I'm gonna grab this flexbox stuff. So I'm gonna grab our flex basis auto. Although auto is the So we're gonna say flex colon (01) auto, I guess. Although that seems like it's Let's just see what happens. Let's just see what happens whenever we do this. Flex colon auto. Alright. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to throw one of these images in here. Feed post creator image. We're going to see what happens whenever I throw this image in. Right? That's kind of to be expected, what we expected. Basically, that might not be enough rounding on the corner for Twitter. You can't even tell with this image. Let me grab an image where you can tell the rounding. You might need even more rounding on the corner. But it doesn't really matter what the rounding on the corner is, because I'm trying to figure out how we're going to deal with this. So, sure, that's fine. We didn't have an issue with this. Now the issue comes in, and maybe it's an issue with images that I was unaware of. But the problem is whenever we add two of these, right? There's no way it's just working, right? There's like, was it really just the problem with the image? Okay, so now we definitely need to set up like some sort of wrapping mechanism, because the wrapping isn't quite working. This is working a lot better already, but now I need to get the custom wrapping to work. We do have flex wrap on, but I'm guessing it has to do with this flex auto, right? Yeah, now it's scuffed. Where'd they go? Interesting. Is it above where I want? I put it in the wrong spot. This needs to be below the text area. And that doesn't matter, but Okay, so we need some sort of basis or something, I think, to help this out. But we're getting somewhere, at least. Like, this is better. So, whenever we say wrap, is there any information about wrap in here? I don't care about the gaps. Let's see here. Flex box row number of elements per row. Is there a way to specify this? Guess it's technically per column, but got wrap. Okay. The flex grow one receives 1/8 of the free space on the line. Um, 1021%. His explanation is the flex grow one defined in flex shorthand. There's no need for basis to be 25%, which would actually result in 3 rows due to the margins. Blah blah blah. Since flex grow will consume free space on the row, flex basis only needs to be large enough to enforce a wrap. In this case, 20%. Plenty of space for margin. So that'll do 4 per line. So I'm curious, if I grab this flex here, if I grab this and put it into feed creator image and throw that in there, so that's still gonna be 4 though. So what if I put this to like I don't think 50 will work, but we'll see what happens. There we go. Would you look at that? Thank you, random Stack Overflow user. But what happens whenever we get rid of one? What is the outcome? Okay, so not quite the outcome we're looking for. So we want it to stack up and down rather than... So does this need to be column instead of row? Like, what if we change this to column? Okay. Now it's backwards. So wrap needs to be wrap reverse. We're getting somewhere. But now, what happens whenever we have 2? Let's see here. So let's say we have 2 images. Yeah, so this should be side by side, right? So we need to... That's what I was saying, that we probably need... Although that's going to be based on... That's going to be the container though, right? That's not going to be based on the container. With 1, it's not an issue. Because 1 will just fill up the space, and that's no big problem. And we'll probably end up wanting it to be more like 48 with a gap or something. Because we're going to want some space around it and stuff like that. Because if you actually go to Twitter, there's space on the left and right. It doesn't take up the entire space. And I could probably fix that also by coming in here, going into images and making the container width like 98% or something, just slightly smaller. Does this? It lines up fine. And we'll have to make the height will be. We'll tweak the height to make the height like basically the height of the image instead, or the aspect ratio of the image. And honestly, this is probably more like 6. Well, 98 might have been okay. None of this really matters. It's all tick-tacky at this point. But now I don't think that this matters as much. But what I'm getting at is we're gonna have to swap the rows basically. So we're gonna have to like have class name equal to something like this, where it's like we have container dash row or container dash column. Or what we could do, I don't know if I love that though. Look at this again. So I think we definitely want it wrap reverse. Well, do we want wrap reverse? We don't actually know what images were in there. That's the other thing, right? So what we'd want to do is inside of our feed creator image, I think all that Twitter did is they have like a style. They have like a background image or something like that. Equal to and the got to have like a interface feed post creator image props, and this will be image string. And this will take in the feed post creator image props and image, and then this will be image or something. Except it really does not like background. Oh, it's because I forgot that. Background image does not like that. We might have to convert this like so. Whoops. Not like background image. Image string is non-assignable to type background image or undefined. No value exists in scope. Background image CSS sets one or more background images. React inline style for background. Going on with URL plus background. So once this, doesn't want that either. What if I did that? Okay. Now let's say Let's map through our post state again. If I could type, that'd be cool. And we'll make a feed post creator image with an image equal to, and we need to return that. And the key will just be equal to image as well, because it should be unique URL, I'd imagine. And it's broken. Or we don't have any images. Let's see. So, broken. But, see. We need to figure out spacing and everything. But yeah, see here, we want it side by side. And the thing is, what we'd want is, what I'm thinking we do is in our images, move this, have like a dot column, a dot row, right? And basically we just say, okay, one's flex direction column, this one's flex direction row. And what we do is say, thing is, again, this wasn't working before, but we'd have like a class name here where I think it's when it's equal to 2 is when we really want to mess with it. I'm not sure. This would almost be better as a which case or something, or a function that spits out this container based on however many images are in there, basically. Trying to think about how I'd want to go about this. So like I could say something like post state dot current post images dot length equal to 2 question mark. If that's the case, if it's equal to 2, then we have row on here. Otherwise, we have this but column for everything else. Now, obviously, that's what we want. We have one image goes across. If we have 3 images, this is the other thing that I want to test to see if it actually works the way that I'm hoping it does. We have 3 images. Yeah, that's what I was worried about. I want the Xbox here. Xbox image here. I was concerned about that. But I think wrap was broken, right? Or maybe wrap wasn't broken. Yeah, so wrap is... what I thought was going to happen. You want it the other way around. You almost have to like loop through it backwards, which would be weird. We almost have to like this is what we want the layout to look like, right? Except everything's backwards, obviously, whenever we do it like this. If we do 4 images, it should be basically, it should be fine. See? Okay, that, well, I think that's just a background image thing. We need to stretch it or whatever. I don't think that's a problem. But yeah, it should be Xbox. So now it should be back to column or to row, I think, because it should be Xbox done, done, done. So like 2 or 4. Would be like, it should be like mod 2. Equal to 0 should be 1 of them. But now instead of, but now it needs to be like reversed basically. Is in the wrong order. But if we turn off reverse, just say wrap. Well, that's right now. Well, no, it's not right because so we need to change the ordering basically. So if I go back to Flexbox order, so it's gonna be we need to use the order probably. But the issue is we need to know which place to put it. What if we do some weird stuff? What if we say column verse? The top row is correct. Bottom row is not correct, I don't think. So I grabbed 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I think it is doing the right order now. What happens if we grab 3? 1, 2, 3. This is still backwards. This part is still backwards. So what if we do this weird stuff where we say row reverse on this? One, 2, 3. Whoops. 1, please. 2, 3. This is still forked, so we'll say wrap reverse. This is still in the wrong order. But I think adding 4 to 4. So it should be Xbox, the cat, the 49ers Chiefs, and then YouTube. That's reversed now. If I put this back to wrap, still in the wrong order. When do I need to modify? Not that one. That's the correct order for this. So, I'd assume that if we add 2, that'll probably be the correct order for 2. So, here's what I'm thinking. So, we'll say .feed -post -creator -images -container dash, how do I want to say this? I guess we can say row, right? It's gonna be duplicate code for now, but I'm fine with it. So wrap in row. I think this works for our row. I think this part works. We have 2, it's in the correct order. We grab 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. That's in the right order. So 2 and 4 works. Now 1 and 3, we have to do some funky stuff for. But you may or may not have time for it today. Not feed -post -creator images container column. And honestly, this should probably be called even. Be called odd. That's really more what it is. So if we're an even amount, do this. If we're an odd amount, this. Okay. This is why I said this would probably be a good style component. So we still want all of this, but I think that our wrap might change. So that's what we need to figure out basically. So whenever we only have 1, not a problem. Whenever we have 3, 1, 2, 3, that's when things get funky. So we want this order. But we want the left side to be the Xbox controller. We want the right side to be stacked here. If we say wrap on this, also if we say wrap, it does that. That's why we want column. Flex direction column. That stacks them. Now the thing is, now it's reversed from what we want. We want the stacking to occur on the right side with images 2 and 3, not images 1 and 2 on the left. That's why I was doing column reverse on flex direction. That just does that. So wrap. That's why we had wrap reverse, right? Make a wrap over here. But that again. Okay, that still didn't do what we wanted. So which one of these actually did what we were trying? Column. That's still fine. So it's the wrap reverse that does what we want. Yeah. So we need to reverse the order. Basically need to do these in the opposite order, I believe. Somehow. And that's, we do column reverse here. I never actually thought, what happens if we did row reverse instead? We don't have a wrap though. Flex wrap. I think the issue with row reverse, right, is that, yeah, it stacks them. We don't want to stack them. We want it to wrap reverse because we want the wrap on the right side. But we need to reorder the items basically to feed into this, I think. Which is an issue. Because just doing we want the Xbox controller here. And we say column reverse, it doesn't do anything, right? It just reorders this side. So what needs to be done is this one needs to be 1, 2, 3 instead of the other way around. There's only like one easy way to do that. Hard out here. Definitely hard out here. Hopefully I can get a job soon. I wouldn't go that far. So we almost need a function that remaps the order of each. I appreciate you though. So we almost need a function that whenever there's 3 elements, it reverses array, basically. Function, say, const, reverse, order. I appreciate you. const reversed do reversed images at first images, and this will be equal states of a string array, and it'll start out as an empty. And what we'll do is do this. Pass this an array, I guess. So we'll say images string array, and we'll say let reversed equal to an empty array. Let reverse equal to post state dot post images, or let I equal to 0. I is less than reversed dot length divided by 2 plus plus, and then we'll say let temp equal to reversed I, and then we'll say let first length reversed not length, can't spell reversed, dot length minus I or minus 1 minus I equal, oh, I don't want to say let, I just want to say equal to, although we want to say I equal to temp. No, that's wrong. I want to say this is equal to reversed length reversed dot length minus 1 minus I, and then we'll say reversed of reversed dot length minus 1 minus I is equal to temp. And that should reverse the array, and then we return the reversed. Then we'll set reversed turn reverse order of our post state dot post images. This there. So I don't think this is gonna work, but we can at least console.log this real quick, and then you can pick back up after this. I got to go soon. Console.log reversed. We have an error. Let's reverse order before initialization. Okay, fair enough. Now it's a problem. Okay. Yeah. Oh, it's because there's nothing in there. Makes sense. Now we'll say 1, 2, 3. Okay, didn't print anything. Terrific. Let's use effect real quick. See if we can get this to refresh. Reload on post state dot post images dot length. If that reloads the page or reloads this component and makes it recalculate, makes it error out, so that's great. Not read value 0. I might need to work on this, refine this. Well, I don't know if this is the way either. Basically, we need to reverse the order of our string of our images to display them properly whenever there's 3, or we can, I guess, figure out a workaround, I suppose. I mean, what I'm thinking is maybe we set up a function, and basically the function is a utility function that states like, hey, there's 1, so just return this one. There's 2, return this. There's 3, return this. There's 4, return this. And then after that, they can't anymore. So I think that's probably what we'll do. We'll not have to go through and figure out all the stuff we did, but that's all I really have time for today. So thank you all for stopping by, and I'll see you all in the next live stream. Have a great day, night, afternoon.